And then we'll go ahead to begin standing today. As you come to stand, bring your awareness to your feet and press your big toes into the floor to come up onto the tips of your toes. Rising up, continue to press those big toes into the floor, and then come back down as slowly as you can, placing your heels back on the ground. Feel free to use a chair or a wall for balance if you need to. And then coming back up, pressing your big toe into the floor, coming up onto your tiptoes. And then slowly placing your heels back to the floor. And then we'll do that one more time. Pressing your big toe into the floor to come up onto your toes. And then slowly coming back down. And as you place your heels back on the floor, try to notice all four corners of your feet firmly planted onto the ground. Bring your awareness to your big toe, your pinky toes, and both sides of your heels, as if they're rooted to the ground. And then moving up your body, bring your awareness to your breath. Notice your inhale and your exhale. And notice how that feels at different points in your body. Do you notice it most at your nose? Or maybe in your chest? Maybe you notice your breath in your belly. Or at your lips. Wherever it's strongest for you today, focus on that part. And as you pay attention to your breathing, let everything else from your day fall away. Letting yourself be here now. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. If you had your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. And begin with shoulder circles. So rolling your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and then bringing them forward as you spread your shoulder blades apart. Trying to really focus the movement between the shoulder blades as you move in circles, getting a nice stretch to your chest as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe even think about narrowing your elbows behind you. And then bringing your shoulders down, spreading your shoulder blades wide, like they're spread across your back. And then up and squeeze them together. Continuing in circles, going as slowly as you like. And then reversing the direction. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, raising the shoulder blades up, and then spreading them apart wide. Still letting your breath be gentle and bringing your awareness back to your breath. And then slowing down the shoulder blade circles and stepping your right foot out so that your feet are spread far apart and your toes are pointing a little bit out. And then bringing your hips behind you to come into a wide squat. You can place your hands on your legs or into prayer, whatever feels better to you. And then pressing your heels into the floor to slowly rise back up, keeping the awareness in your feet with all four corners, pressing into the ground, and then slowly coming back down into the squat. Continuing to really keep your awareness in your heels as you press back up. and letting your legs do the work all the way through the squat, up and down. Remembering to relax your face. Really pressing into the floor with the feet on the way up and down to keep your legs active and strong. This time, as you come back up, fold forward by tilting your pelvis forward so that from this direction, my back is very straight. And then place your hands on your knees and return to the squat while you're in the full forward fold. So your butt is kind of rocking down and then moving back up while the rest of the torso stays steady. Let me show you from this direction. So I'm in a forward fold, just my legs are moving, straightening and bending. Continuing to keep your awareness in your feet and using your heels as your anchor point to really press into the floor. Remembering to relax the shoulders and your face, maybe your jaw. And then next time you fold forward, you're going to straighten the legs, but stay in kind of this forward bend. And then we're just going to tick-tock the pelvis. So your hips move back and forth, legs are relatively straight. And you're just moving in the hip sockets, tick-tock. Try to keep the back of the neck long. Do a couple more, just releasing the hips. And then press into your heels to come all the way back up. Again, we're going to stay in this wide stance and bend the right knee to lean over to the right side. Pelvis stays forward. Bend the left knee to lean over to the left side. In this, you can't really see my feet, but you can keep your foot down on the ground of the extended leg, or you can raise up your toes, whatever feels better for you. In this way, you get a top of the foot stretch. This way, you're bringing it more into a calf stretch. But again, keeping your anchor in your heels and really keeping your butt behind you. Let's do a couple more. And then coming back to center, pressing the heels into the floor to stand all the way back up. And then bringing your weight to your right foot as you balance and raise the left foot up. And then stepping to the side, bringing your weight to the left foot as you balance and raise the right foot up. Let's do a couple more of those from side to side, kind of going down into a wide squat before you raise your foot or your knee back up. And then ending with standing on your right foot, bringing the left foot up. You can grab your knee if that feels comfortable, or if you'd rather just float, it's up to you. And then reach your right arm behind you to come into an upper body twist. And you can look behind you. Let the twist be in your upper back, not in your lower back. We'll just balance and hold for about 3 slow breaths. And then coming back to center, releasing your knee and stepping the left foot to the side, and then raising the right knee up. Holding on to it if you'd like, and reaching behind you with your left arm, getting a nice twist in the upper back. Again, let's take about 3 more full breaths. And then we'll step to the other side once more. So right leg steps to the side, bring your balance to your right foot, keeping your weight in your heel, raising up the left knee, and then twisting behind you. Take another breath here. And then as you turn forward, extend your left leg. Keeping your left leg extended and balancing on the right foot, we're gonna try and turn again. If you lose your balance, just come back into it. And then reach your left leg behind you as you reach your right arm forward. And then again, we'll bring our left knee up, reach your right arm back, and reach your left leg back as your right arm comes forward. So the whole time, the right foot that you're balancing on, try to keep your weight in the heel while also thinking about all 4 corners of that foot, holding your weight and your balance for you. We're just going back and forth. If the motion is too much, just stay in one position. The last time, extend your left leg in front of you, and then placing it down, stepping to the side, and then raising your right knee up. Extend the right knee and reach behind you with your left arm, holding that position. And then switching so that your left leg goes behind you and your right leg goes behind you, sorry, and your left arm comes forward. I think I'm doing this backwards. There, sorry, I said the wrong thing. Right leg extends out, right arm extends back. If you were mirroring me, I'm sorry. If you did it right, you were ahead of me. Again, as you twist, trying to twist from the upper back, not the lower back. And thinking about that left foot firmly planted to the ground. Let's do a couple more. And then stepping your right foot to the side, still in that wide squat, we'll go back to just going back and forth, bending one leg to the other, raising the toes if you'd like, or keeping them down on the ground. And keeping your butt behind you. And then coming back to center, if you have your block, go ahead and place that in front of you and come into a forward fold with your back straight like we were before. And we'll go into that pelvis tick-tock again, but this time with your hands resting on the block, if that feels good. If you don't have a block or that's not working out, just go back to hands on the hips and doing it that way. Maybe experiment with both, noticing how it feels different in your body. And then let's take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Again, inhale. And as you exhale, rise back up, bringing the block with you if you have it. And then bringing your feet together so that you're standing about pelvis width apart. Again, firmly planting the feet into the floor and bringing your weight slightly back into your heels. You're going to hold the block in your palms like this. So I'm not gripping the block. I'm just pressing my palms together into the block. And if you don't have a block, we're going to extend in front of us. You'll just do it without the block, pretending like you have a block in your hands. So extend the block out in front of you, keeping your spine straight and long. Try to lengthen the back of your neck. And then rotate the upper back to come to the right. Come back to center. Rotate the upper back to the left. Back to center. Again to the right. To center, trying to keep the pelvis facing forward and letting the movement just come from your upper back. This time, as you go back to center, we're going to go up without popping out the chest. So your arms might not go up too high. Back to center, to the left, center, above, back down, and to the right. And then you can kind of turn it into one fluid motion, up, to the left, up, and to the right. Really trying to press your hands into the block as you do the movement, creating some stability for your shoulders. Again, trying not to pop out the rib cage, but keeping or imagining the bottom of your rib cage straight in line over your pelvis bone. Let's do one more to the right and then to the left. And then you can release the block, shake out your shoulders a little if you need to. And then placing your weight into your right foot, stepping back with your left foot into a lunge. Once you're in the lunge position, place your palms back on the block like we were holding it before. Fingers are extended. And you're going to raise the block up. And then as you come down, stand back up. Raise up, go down into the lunge. And then come back down with the block as you extend your legs. This is what I look like from this side. You don't have to squat or lunge down real low, whatever works for you while you're still staying stable and balanced. And again, try not to pop out the chest. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and your cheeks relaxed. And really pressing into the floor with the heel of your right foot. Pressing your palms into the block as you raise over your head and come back down. Let's do two more. And then step your left foot forward to come back to center. Do any little movements you might need to after that work. And then bringing your weight to your left foot, step your right foot back, and we'll do it on the opposite side. So from the lunge position, your block is over your head, and then standing up as you bring it down. Pressing into the block with both hands. Relaxing your face. Keeping that left heel as the anchor for your lunge. Let's do 2 more. And then coming down with the block, stepping your right foot forward, maybe shaking out your legs, your shoulders after doing that work. And then we're gonna place the block in between our forearms with your palms facing up. So I'm holding it with my forearms, squeezing my arms together. And again, stepping back with the right foot, or actually we just did that. So stepping back with the left foot, so your right leg is forward in a lunge. Take a breath as you get comfortable here. And then turning with the upper back to the right, coming back to center, raising the block overhead, back to center, and turn to the right again. So again, the movement continues in your upper back, not in your lower back. And you're keeping your palms facing up towards the ceiling as you squeeze that block between your forearms. If it gets too hard to hold the lunge position as you do it, just go ahead and stand straight. Still getting that great mobility for your shoulders. Let's do 2 more on this side. And then stepping the left foot forward to switch legs. You can release the block if you want to give your arms a break. And then stepping the right foot back, pressing into your heel of the left foot to keep your lunge strong and stable. And then placing the block between your forearms with the palms up. And then we'll rotate to the left, forward, and then raising the block above you. Continuing to let yourself breathe, not holding in your air. Relaxing your face. Maybe really pressing the toes of your back leg into the floor to see if you can feel it in your glutes. Let's do 2 more together. And then stepping your right foot forward, releasing the block. Maybe shake it out a little. Loosen up your limbs and your joints. And then holding the block behind you so that both of your palms are placed on the block. This time you are using your fingers. And try to rip the block apart while your arms are behind you. And just hold, really concentrating on trying to tear that block apart. Your arms are straight. Keep the back of your neck long. And continue with the weight placed in your heels and the anchor of your feet to the ground. Can release, roll out the shoulders, and then we'll do it 1 more time. So placing the block behind you, trying to rip the block apart. Keeping length in the back of your neck and relaxing your face. And then release. You can set the block down, Come back to that wider squat. And then we're gonna fold about halfway. Place your hands on your knees. And again, doing that kind of quarter squat where we're just pressing your feet into the floor, kind of bobbing your butt up and down in the air while the rest of you stays in position. Your torso stays in the same position. Let your breath slow down. And then next time you're in the squat, see if you can squat all the way down to the floor. See how far you can go. Use your hands if you need to. And even coming behind you, get yourself on the floor. And I'm gonna fix my screen so you can see me better. Okay. Now, grabbing the block again. You're gonna place your feet out in front of you. Legs are a little bit bent. Heels are on the floor. The block comes back to the palms so that your fingers aren't holding it, just your palms are. You're gonna tuck your tailbone so that you round onto the back of your tailbone and then tilt it to come back up. So this is kind of like a boat pose, but you're only going halfway. Tucking the tailbone to lean back and then coming back up. If it hurts your tailbone too much, get extra padding like a folded blanket or a pillow. And try to go back and forward, really continuing to press into the block with your palms. Do you feel like you've got that? As you go back, you can move the block over your head and then forward, really reaching the block forward in front of you. If this is too much, just go back to what we were doing before. Otherwise, as you come forward, reach that block, move it overhead as you go back. Getting a more full body movement with this. And then take a break if you need to. Inhale fully and exhale. And then extend the block back out in front of you. And then we're gonna rotate to the right, move to the back as you go up, and then rotate to the left. So you're kind of going in a circle. Doing the rotations that we practiced before, but now in this boat pose. If that's too much, just go back to one step or another where you're only going up, or you could only go side to side if it doesn't feel good to raise it above your head while you're moving too. So kind of choose your own adventure. Let's do a couple more. And then placing the block down. And we're gonna do some rolls. So similar to what we were just doing with the boat pose, I'm gonna turn this way. Let yourself roll all the way back and then back up. So rolling all the way onto your spine and back up, giving a nice massage to your spine. You can do it as slowly or as quickly as you like. And then once you've got that, if you're comfortable with the rolling, next time you come up, you place your right hand to the ground and your right knee to go into a like half side plank. So you're in the half side plank, you go back down, roll back, and then come up on the other side. Roll back, knee to the floor, side plank. It's kind of a fun, less specific movement than we usually do, but good for rolling your muscles, coming up into that plank, pausing for a minute, kind of having fun with it. Let's do one more on each side if you're able. And then coming back to just sitting, placing your hands behind you. Heels are on the floor and knees are bent. And as you begin to let your breath slow down, just doing kind of the half 90-90, one leg at a time. So your heel stays on the ground and the knee comes to the center and internal rotation and then back out. And you're not really just flopping, you're keeping that heel firmly planted in the ground like we have throughout class. And again, you're tick-tocking the legs instead of the pelvis. Letting your breath slow down. And then as you come back to center, we'll go ahead and take that block one more time. And roll all the way down, tucking the tailbone, letting yourself come all the way down to the ground. Getting comfortable with your spine on the ground now, your shoulders on the ground. Letting your body get used to this new position of not being upright. And then once you feel comfortable, place the block in between your knees and squeeze the block. And as you continue squeezing the block, lift your feet off the floor so that your knees are at about a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to internally rotate so that your feet come out and then come back so that they're the blocks width apart. So this is how it looks this way. My feet spread apart and then go back. Really squeezing that block, trying to feel it in your inner thighs as you do the movement. So you're building strength and increasing your mobility in your hip sockets. Remembering to let your shoulders stay relaxed into the floor, not scrunching them back up. Let's do a couple more. And then removing the block and placing your feet back down to the ground. And again, letting your body begin to fall into the ground. Let your spine relax and your shoulders relax. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. This may be enough of a stretch just doing this. But if you want to take it a little further, roll to the left side and place your right foot down to the ground. so that you're in kind of a cross-legged side stretch. And just rest here for a few moments. After all that work in our hips, it can feel so good to just stretch and release in these positions. Come back to center, placing both feet down on the ground and then crossing your left ankle over your right knee. Staying here if you'd like, or even lifting the right foot off the ground if you want a deeper stretch that way. Or otherwise, as we did on the other side, bringing your left foot to the ground and letting both legs just rest in the position they're in, while also trying to bring tension out of the rest of your body and all the work that you did. Again, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. You can close your eyes if it feels good. And go ahead and extend your legs so that your whole body is relaxed into the floor. Letting the ground hold you up, knowing that you are safe. You don't have to hold your body in place anymore, but just relax. Relax your cheekbones. Relax your jaw. Relax your chest and your belly. Relax your hips. Good job, hips, for all the work you did today. Relax your knees, your ankles, and your feet. You're welcome to stay in resting pose as long as you're able today. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. Peace be with you as you go about your day, and I hope that the movement we did here helps you move more freely in the rest of your life.